Congratulations, you did it. You managed to get your first client. They handed you the money and everything. It's in your bank account. Awesome. Now you're on the call with your client the first time and things aren't going as planned. You're trying to explain what they need to do. They're not listening. They're telling you what they think needs to happen when you already know that that won't work, but they won't listen when you tell them that. Heads are butting, tension's high, they just spent a lot of money and the vibe isn't right. Has this ever happened to you? Because this is sure as heck happened to me. And if you want to prepare to make sure this never happens or this has happened to you, in this video, I'm going to give you the top 4 mistakes that I see beginner and intermediate coaches making when working with their clients. You're a beginner, so you're going to make mistakes. I still make mistakes and I've been doing this for 3 years. Sometimes I get on a call and I'll give some advice or I'll try and do something and I'll mess it up. And I'll know in my head that I messed up. This is trick number 1. When you're on with a client, they're looking at you with puppy eyes, trusting you, knowing that you can help them get to the end result that they want to get to. We need to maintain that level of stature, that level of leadership, so that they can continue to trust us and allow us to lead the call. So, number 1, if you ever make a tiny mistake, don't announce it. Definitely don't announce it. If you get on your first coaching call and you're 3 minutes late, don't jump on and say, hey, I'm so sorry. I know I'm 3 minutes late. It's because my kids were stuck at school and I had to drop them off and then I got a flat tire and then you won't even believe my day. Bah, 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 bah. Don't do that. Immediately it puts you as someone who's projecting pain on somebody else, as opposed to jumping on the call with confidence and allowing that person to be vulnerable with you. You don't want to first be vulnerable with them. You want them to feel confident that they can rely on you. Trust me, when I used to go up to girls and I would cry and be like, oh, life is so tough. I want to be a musician. 17 years old, they didn't like it. But now when I come home and I'm that cool, calm, collected, and then they can go, oh, I had a long day. And we go, right? Tell me about it. Because we could have had a long day as well, but we're not going to project it onto the person. We're going to lose our leverage, our social standing. We need to protect it, especially with your first client, okay? So please put it in the back of your head, recognize it, jump on the call, cool, calm, and collected. If you're 3 minutes late, say, hey, glad that we could make this work today. How's your day going so far? And they might say, oh, I barely made it here on time. Sorry, I'm a minute late. That's okay. Because we are the ones that are there to teach them and lead them. The next big mistake that I see people making, and this is a huge one because it's going to completely change the trajectory of your clients. If you mess this one up, your results are gonna be muddy, your communication skills are gonna go way, way, way down, and the rapport is just gonna be absolutely destroyed. And I've done this on multiple occasions. This even overlaps into sales. A lot of the time, we will ask a question. I'll be like, hey man, so did you manage to get the reports done? I know that they were done yesterday, but they were messed up and then something happened. So I'm not really sure if they were done. And then the squirrel came in and started running around. And then by the time they're done talking, you completely forget the question they asked, right? Tip number 2, never keep talking after you ask a question. Ask the question, shut up, and let them talk. Most people want to add more context onto a question because they realize they didn't provide enough context. But you need to end with the question. Hey dude, did you get the reports done? Allow them to speak. Allow them to speak as best as they can. And worst case, they'll ask you, hey man, can you tell me a bit more about these reports so I can answer properly? But I promise you 9 out of 10 times, you're gonna say, hey man, did you get the reports done? And they're gonna tell you exactly what they think and how they feel. So when you're asking people, just leave it at the question. Now we're gonna get philosophical. If you like the vibes of old Rome, if you like Marcus Aurelius, you're gonna love this one. Allowing people to think of an idea as their own is one of the most powerful concepts known to man, if I may say so myself. Leveraging the Socratic method is going to allow you to get your clients much better results than if you just try and tell them exactly what to do. I don't know about you, but when I was a kid, if I was in school and I'd be running through the halls and the teacher would come out that I didn't like and say, hey, don't run through the halls. As soon as they walk back in the room, I'm like, screw you, Mrs. Winklevoss. And I'm running. I'm not listening. Now, if Mr. Johnson comes in and he's like, yo, Benny, come here. You know, when you run through the halls, you endanger other people. Do you think that if you were running through the halls and old Mrs. Grinson walked in, what would happen? Oh, I'd probably run into her. Oh my goodness, you probably would. And what would happen if you ran into her? Oh, well, Mr. Johnson, I'd probably break her leg. She's so frail. Wow. I mean, do we want that to happen? Well, no, that'd be terrible. Yeah, that would be terrible. You think we'd have to tell your mom about that? Yeah, I mean, I guess. Whoa. Well, knowing that, are you going to keep running? Well, no, it's way too dangerous. All right. Boom. No more running. Right? Because he allowed me to leverage the Socratic method. He allowed me to arrive at my own conclusion. And so I realized it was my own idea. I left after talking to Mr. Johnson and I'm like, I decide that I won't run in the halls anymore because it's not safe. But when Miss Greenwich was telling me not to run, I was running because she was telling me what she wanted me to do. But Mr. Johnson allowed me to arrive at the conclusion that it's not safe to run. This plays out very, very similarly when you're talking to your clients and they want to have a rainbow logo that blends into their green, blue, orange background and it's going to look like crap. Instead of telling them that it's going to look like crap, ask them, well, when people look at this, are they going to be able to see the lettering with the background color the way it is? Oh no, probably not, right? If you were to tell people that you're going to help them reveal their best self, is that something people are going to want to spend $10,000 on? Oh no, probably not. Allowing people to come to their own conclusions is probably the most powerful takeaway from this whole video. Asking great questions to allow people to arrive at the conclusions that you want them to. It's a superpower. And to add on to that, if you have trouble with this is the part 2 of part 3. I'm just going to call it number 4. If you don't know how to get people to, arrive at the conclusion you want, this number 1 hack completely changed the way I do conversations. It is amazing. I love it so much. I use it with my Beyonce all the time. Let's say that it's about that time to eat some dinner. Oh, babe, let me ask you this. Do you want to go get sushi tonight? Or would you rather stay home and just not eat tonight? Oh, I'd rather get sushi. Oh, awesome. Great. Let's go get sushi. Asking an either or question where one answer is so superior to the other question will help people arrive at the conclusions that you want them to much, much faster. Hey, babe, do you want to watch Forrest Gump? My favorite movie. I haven't seen it in so long. It makes me so happy every time I watch it. Or do you want to watch this new movie? I don't know about the reviews. I've never heard much about it. Which one would you rather? Forrest Gump? Awesome, let's do it. If you can ask questions in a way that makes people realize how much better the option that you're suggesting is, but you're not suggesting it, you're asking it, you will allow people to arrive at conclusions so much faster. Guys, these are 4 mistakes that I used to make as a coach, and I'm improving tremendously. So hopefully these 4 lessons are useful for you. So when you get on that first coaching call, you don't make them. And if you are already taking coaching calls, maybe you can see yourself in a situation where you have made them and you won't make them anymore. See you in the next one. Peace.